Okay, so now that we have our awesomely perfected thesis statements, we are going to discuss mind mapping and clustering. So this is going to break down your thesis statement into the first stages in order to then write your outline. So what you want to do is have a diagram of clusters or branches of related information coming from a central concept or idea. It's literally like a whip. I'm sure you guys have used these before. So at the center of the page, you draw a circle, you write your thesis. Then you're going to branch out of the thesis, which should be three main ideas. I know it says three or four here, but I asked you guys for only three. So it should branch out into your three main ideas. Then, out of those main ideas, you should be able to then break those into two different subtopics. So, for example, if you guys are discussing the quote from the actual novel with the duality of humankind, of mankind, how they could be good and bad, and you're discussing characters' actions, one subtopic off of that could be the positive actions of Liesel and Eli. And then another branch of subtopic off of that main idea of characters' actions could be their negative actions. But you have to make sure that you're discussing both books at the same time. You never want to separate them because you're comparing them. So you don't want to have one paragraph on the book thief, one paragraph on Knight. You want to be able to discuss them together. So just come up with basic phrases. So like I said, negative character actions, positive character actions. So some tips are color coding to make it easier to read. So that way all the character action stuff could be maybe one color, like that kind of stuff. When you're done, step back and look at it as a whole. You may notice that some things overlap. So if it doesn't make it too cluttered, you could always figure out which area you want the overlap to be in, because you don't want to repeat yourself. You don't want to be using the same examples more than once. And if it's too cluttered, just make notations on a separate sheet of paper. And if you have four main ideas, pick your best for three. I think most of you guys did three anyway, so that should be great. So I came up with a little example. Say, the middle, your main idea, you're discussing ancient history. You have the Ottoman Empire, the Roman Empire, the Egyptian Empire, and then you have the Greek Empire. And then different ideas that come off of that. So for, Rome, how they deal with Christianity, they deal with Caesar. Egypt, they deal with the pyramids, hieroglyphs, mummification. So that shows you don't just have to have two subtopics, you can have three, but again, you want to make sure you're not overlapping your ideas. Again, never repeating yourself. So that's the basic concept of what I want you to do. I don't want you to sit there and write giant paragraphs in these bubbles. This is just to give you a basic map. That's why it's called mind mapping. A basic map of where you're going to go. So that way, when you have those two subtopics for each main idea of your thesis, we can then start looking up specific examples, good quotes that you can find in order to support what you're trying to say. So hopefully that helps. And when you guys start doing this, if you have any questions, email me, come see me, and we will talk.